We definitely moved out here for the peace and the trees. I do get a thrill using a chainsaw. It's the feeling of using a chainsaw with a brand new chain on it, and it feels like you're cutting through butter.
Deep in the woods of East Texas, the sunrise reveals a routine in a tiny shed where Star Quintero thoroughly prepares the tools of her trade.
We really wanted to have our own little chunk of peace and quiet. So when I saw all these trees here, it wasn't the house that sold us, it was the trees. My mom is actually a horticulturist and an arborist. So high school summers, I would go work with her, and that's kind of how I got my toes wet, I guess, in the field.
As a certified arborist, Star nurtures the landscape with any number of cutting edges, making sure that the forest canopy stays healthy and green, with each cut shaping the landscape and life expectancy of nature's towering living monuments. Your pole is what, about 8 feet long, it looks like. So you're good from here up another almost 8 feet. What do you do if you got to trim something way up there?
Well, there's a couple options. I have another set of extensions I can add on, but what I prefer to do is climb. Yeah, I'm like that crazy tree lady. This probably sounds so weird, but I generally, before I head up, I just kind of ask permission or say, I'm gonna climb you. I'm not gonna hurt you. That's not my intention. I want to take care of you. I'm gonna respect you.
How high is she going?
So I'm really lucky now. I can just walk out my front door and, you know, if the kids are asleep for 20 minutes, I can run out and get a little training in for 20 minutes. When I'm working up there, one mistake, I mean, not to be dramatic, but it could be fatal. And so it's very important to stay focused on what you're doing, your gear. So sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I'll use a chainsaw up here if I have big limbs to remove, or if I'm doing a complete removal. But most of the time I like to use a handsaw.
How would you get a chainsaw up there?
I would carry it on my belt with me, or I could have a groundsman attach it to my rope and pull it up.
Goodness.
Star's chainsaw is back at the shed, and this climb on this day is a rehearsal of sorts, warming up for a fierce competition of tree climbing.
They've been having these competitions, gosh, I think since the 70s, 80s. They're all over the world. So I have won the Texas chapter, the female division, 4 times.
Well, it's not an event you'll see on the sports channels or Olympic schedule yet. But each year, the sport of tree climbing is climbing by leaps and limbs. And it's on days like this that Star reaches out far beyond most people's comfort zone and taps a tin can to get ready for the next high-altitude championship, all done with no net and no regret.
Oh my gosh. Star, that was incredible.
What does that feel like when you're up there? It's got to be freedom or something.
It is, yeah. Definitely, you feel a lot lighter up there. It's kind of a different world. Very quiet, peaceful. It's exhilarating. Be a good word for it.
Is that why you do it?
Yeah. The first time I climbed, I was going through a bit of a depression, and then I landed a gig climbing trees, And I found every time that I climbed up, all the weight just came off my shoulders. It was like I could breathe up there. So it's a very special place for me to be up in trees. I got it. I'm living my dream.
Star, do you know how few people get to say, I'm living my dream?
No, but I feel very lucky.
Star Quintero, it seems, has found her place in the thick canopy of East Texas, moving with grace and ease high above the forest floor, at home with the branches and bark, where the view is hers alone, and clarity and calmness are her climbing partners.
There's something very beautiful and majestic about them. And so trees are very, very special to me. It's a very, dare I say, sacred place up there for me. They've treated me so well. I want to treat trees well too, show them that respect.